2, Walk the Line.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. I hear that train coming, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine, I don't know when I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. That train keeps a rolling on down the side and go. Just a baby, my mama told me, John, always be a good boy, never play with guns. I shot him bad in Reno, just to watch him die. That train keeps a rolling, I hang my head and cry. DJ. Run so fast a dining car. I've been drinking coffee, smoking with cigar. I knew I had it covered. I know I can't be free. That train keeps rolling. That's what tortures me. Hey. That railroad train of mine, I'd probably move it on a little farther down the line. Up in Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Thank you very much, I'm Johnny Cash. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate that. Because I get to do my favorite thing in the whole world, and that's a tribute to the great Johnny Cash. The only human on the planet Earth inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame, Songwriter Hall of Fame, and Folk Music Hall of Fame. All four of them. Johnny Cash got his start down in Memphis, Tennessee, along with Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Roy Orbison, and all them rabble-rousers down at Sun Records. The problem with Memphis was there was no place you could play live. If you wanted to play live, you had to go down to the Louisiana Hayride. Well, that was the first place Johnny Cash ever got to see Elvis play live, was at the Louisiana Hayride, and he was really impressed with Elvis. He was so impressed with Elvis, he wrote a special song just for Elvis. But then he found out that Elvis had sent a love note to his potential future girlfriend, June Carter, who was also working at the Louisiana Hayride. He decided he wasn't going to give that song to Elvis, he's going to keep it for himself. It's a good thing he did too, because it made him a pile of money. And we're going to share that song with you right now. It goes like this. 2, 3, 4. Well, get rhythm if you got the blues. Get rhythm if you got the blues. Only talk about a diamond shoe, it'll do $1 million good for you. Get rhythm if you got the blues. Shoot shine boy, the pepper gets down. He got the dirtiest job. Bending low at the people's feet, in the corner of Windy Street. Asking what I shine my shoes, how he kept from getting the blues. Well, then he took a little hit. There I said, get ready. You got the blues, get ready. If you got the blues, only cost about a dime of shoes. If you make it all good, you get ready. If you got the blues. Well, get rhythm. If you got the blues, get rhythm. If you got the blues, won't cost you a dime and shoe. If you make it all good, you get rhythm. If you got the blues, sit down, listen to the shoe-shine boys. Thought I was going to jump the door. Snap those shoes while the lift and right, while the shoe-shine ready to hear the track. He's not working like a swell away. My little boy to be working that way. So I like it with the big white ring on the shoe-shine ring. Say it again, get ready. You got the blues, get ready. If you got the blues, cause the rhythm is being so fine. She calls the trouble to be heard, and I get ready. If you got the blues. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful bunch here. I'll tell you what, I got a very special song for you now. This song is special because this is the song that got Johnny Cash barred from the Grand Ole Opry. There are those amongst us, even here tonight, that would say Johnny Cash used to drink too much. Well, I don't think so either. He didn't drink near as much as our bass player, I can tell you that. At any rate, it is a fact that he had a few to drink tonight. He showed up at the Ryman Theater. He just got his hands on this new song, and he was singing this song, and he got all carried away and stomped out all the footlights. I don't have any footlights to stomp on, so we're going to pass up that part of the show. So, the song's nothing about stomping out footlights anyway. You've heard this song. I know you've heard this song, and it goes like this. 2, 3, 4. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much from my mom and me, just this old guitar, if it was blue. I don't care that he run and hit, but when the singer ever did it, before he left, he went and named me Sue. I must have thought that's a pretty good joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. Seems I had to fight the whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. They just ain't that easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fist got hard and my wits got keen. Rode from town to town to hide my shame. I swore by the moon and star I'd search those honky-tonks and bars, and I'd find that mangy weasel that named me Sue. Well, that was Gatlinburg in mid-July. Rode into town, my throat was dry. Boy, I'd stop and have myself a brew. There on the street of mud, sitting at a table dealing stud, was that mangy snake that would make me Sue. I knew that rat was my own sweet dad by the old photograph that my mom had, and I recognized his scarlet cheek and his evil eye. Big and bent, gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood run cold and said, "Hey, my name is Sue. How do you do? Now you are gonna die!" Well, I hit him one trap between the eyes, and he went down. To my surprise, come up with a knife and it cut off a chunk of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we went through the wall out into the street, kicking in the gouging in the mud and the blood and the fear. Well, I fought tougher, man. Well, I really don't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I drew mine first, and he stood there in the street. I seen him smile. He said, son, this world is rough. You're gonna make it, you gotta be tough. I knew I wouldn't be around to help you along. So I gave you that name, I said goodbye. I knew you have to get tough or die, and you know it's that name that helps make you strong. Now you just fought one heck of a fight. I know you hate me, and you have the right to kill me now. I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and spitting out. I'm that mangy weasel that names you Sue. What could I do? What could I do? What can I do? I got all choked up. I threw down my gun, I called him a father, he called me a son, and I went away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a boy, I'm gonna name him Bill or George or Ralph, anything but Sue. That's an awful name. Thank you. Let me wet my whistle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee if Johnny Cash hadn't met Sam Phillips in Memphis and started writing songs, he would eventually made it out to Texas and New Mexico and been a cowboy. And I want to play for you my favorite Johnny Cash cowboy song. I hope you like it much as I do. It goes like this. 2, 3, 4. As he rolled upon his way, all at once somebody heard a red-eyed cowboy soul riding across the windy sky, and the world was cold. The soul fire, so they could steal. Their hot breath you could feel. Up over there with him as he moved to the sky. And the rise coming hard. Give me a hope. Give me a as a bird, their clothes were soaked in sweat. That devil's hurt, but they ain't caught him yet. Voice to ride forever on that rain up in the sky. Voices throwing fire. You can hear them as they rode on by, he heard the cowboy call his name. Saved from hell riding on this range. Cowboy changing ways and they are with us you will ride. Trying to catch that devil's herd across the sky. Give me a hope. Give me a fires in the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, keep those hands together for my sweet wife, Miss June Carter. June, I'm so glad you can make it.
Hey y'all, hey Dallas! How's everybody doing? How y'all doing over here? Well, I'm just tickled to death with it. You know, John, I just rushed and rushed and rushed.
I know.
Couldn't hardly wait to get out here and say hi to everybody.
Well, you got to quit that rushing around because you're gonna cause yourself an accident.
I ain't never had an accident in my whole life.
Wait a second, now that's a pretty broad statement. Say that again. You never had an accident.
I never did.
Never had an accident.
No, well, you know, maybe there was that one time last year when that big old mean bull threw me over that fence.
A bull threw you over the fence.
Yeah.
You don't call that an accident?
No, I really think he did it on purpose.
Oh.
You know, doctor, had to go to the doctor. Had to go to the doctor this morning.
You went to the doctor? What's the problem, June?
Well, he said, June, he said, I want you to take this little blue pill every morning when you get up. And every day with a great big glass of water now. And every day at lunch, I want you to take this other little pill with a big glass of water. And every night now, I want you to take another pill with a big glass of water.
Well, what was the problem?
He said, I'm not drinking enough water. You know, y'all, I'm just worried to death about my sister Violet.
What's the matter? What happened with Violet?
Well, she broke up with her boyfriend, you know, and she's been going out with him for 5 years.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I just told him, she said, you know, he didn't want no commitment. She said, I just told him, I said, look, we've been going out for 5 long years. Either you tell me your name or it is over between us. Let's sing a song, John.
I think she's getting a little pushy there. Baby.
All right.
Here's what we're going to Grammy for. We got married in a fever, Polly had a pepper squad. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the far we gone. I'm going to Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
I'm old fool around. I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson. What do you say about into that city, all them women gonna sleep and brawl. All them women gonna make me reason what they do. I'm going to Jackson, turn the loose of my soul. I'm going to Jackson. You gotta go see me. What about it? But that's a fact. I'm going to Jackson. You know I'm going to Jackson up there begging not stopping me. I'm out of here, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and go to Jackson, John. Go ahead, go do it. Don't be calling me on the telephone, asking me to send you a Greyhound bus ticket to come home. I am not buying no Greyhound bus ticket.
That only happened one time, dude.
you guys. You love that.
Well, one of the guys back there told me it was John's birthday over here, ladies and gentlemen.
My birthday.
Where's John at? Hold up your hand, John.
Let's sing happy birthday.
Everybody's pointing at everybody else. Let's hear me sing a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you.
It's a good day to have a birthday.
I think he did. Well, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
I gotta tell you a little story.
All right, tell us.
Before we do this next song, I have to tell you a story. Now, first time I ever laid eyes on John here, I was singing at the Rhyming Theater, the Grand Ole Opry, with my mother, Maybelle Carter, and the Carter family. And John here was on a graduation high school trip, and he came backstage after the show, and he said, "I'm a really big fan of the Carter family." Well, the Carter family were the first people to ever sing gospel music on the radio. And he looked right at me and he said, "Jude Carter, I'm a really big fan of yours." He said, "I am going to marry you someday." I said, "Lord have mercy. That's what I don't need in my life."
What she says was, "Could you read lips?" That's what she
Right,
said.
that's what I said. Well, he must have burned a hole in my heart because I went home that night and I wrote the words of this song. And I didn't dare tell John he had to sing right through me. So, but my sister Anita recorded this song, and she had a voice like an angel. And John heard it and he said, "I want to record that song." Well, he did not know, true story y'all, John did not know until well after he recorded it, that song was written about him. And when I first wrote the song, well, it was something like this. Love is a bad thing. Does that ring a bell? Well, John got a hold of it, and this is what he did with it.
2, 3, 4. Oh, there's a burden thing. With notes of fiery rain. Wow, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Down, down, down. The flame went higher and burn, burn. That ring of fire. Burning ring of fire, and down, down, down. The flame went higher and it burn, burn, burn. That ring of fire, your taste of love is sweet. When hearts walk out with me, long while it's dry. I fell into a fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, down, down. The flame went higher and it burned, burned. That ring of fire, that ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, down, down. The flame went higher and it burn, burn, that ring of fire, that ring. Try that again. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, down, down. The flame went higher and it burn, burn, that ring of fire, that ring of fire. And it burn, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire. I tell you what, Johnny Cash, from 1970 to 1972, Johnny Cash and June Carter had the #1 television show in the whole United States. Anybody wanted to be on the Johnny Cash Hour, ladies and gentlemen. And he made a lot of people's career back then, a lot of people you don't even know about, or you probably would have never heard of if it hadn't have been for Johnny Cash. Now, you know, they were filming that thing up in New York, and Johnny Cash, when they were kind of taking a break or whatnot, he kind of liked to wander around town, little things, check things out. One day he's wandering around Greenwich Village up there, and he heard a folk singer singing. He came back and told his producer, "There's a guy over there, I want him on the show." They said, "What's his name?" He said, "Bob Dylan." They said, "He ain't nothing but a hippie, we can't have him on the show." He said, "Well, if he ain't in the show, I won't be on the show." So they put Bob on, and from then on, everyone knew who Bob Dylan was, and people started recording his songs right and left. And Johnny Cash and June Carter, they recorded one of his songs and won a Grammy for it, ladies and gentlemen, and it goes like this. 2, 3, 6's weather is not good for Johnny Cash coach.
That thing weighs 40 pounds, y'all. All right. Yeah.
Man, I tell you what. Well, ladies and gentlemen, preacher was preaching the other day. He asked that age-old question. If there's anyone in this room here tonight that's perfect, stand up now. One guy stood up in the back of the room. Preacher said, man, you think you're perfect? He said, no, I was standing up for my wife's ex-husband. He couldn't be here. Think about it, you're going to laugh when you get home.
All right, let's sing a song, John.
Wait, I want to tell a preacher joke. I tell a good preacher joke here before we do. There's a new preacher in town that just like Conway Twitty. Does anybody remember Conway Twitty? Don't you love Conway Twitty? But that's beside the point. The preacher looked just like Conway Twitty. He was going from house to house, knocking on doors, trying to get folks to come to Sunday service. Well, the first house he went to, a little old lady came to the door. As soon as she saw him, she said, Conway Twitty. He said, no, ma'am. I am just a new preacher in town, but I want you to come to church this Sunday. She said, I sure will be there. Well, the next house he went to, the little lady came to the door. As soon as she saw him, Conway Twitty! No, ma'am. I'm just a new preacher in town, but I want you to come to church this Sunday. She said, I sure will be there. Well, the third house he went to, just so happened was the new school teacher that just moved to town. Beautiful young blonde-headed woman. Just so happened, she was in the shower when he knocked on the door. Well, she threw a towel around herself, and she ran to the front door. As soon as she opened that door, she saw him. She got so excited, she dropped her towel. She said, Conway Twitty. He said, hello, darling. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Let's sing it there.
We're going to sing a gospel song to make
Now,
up for
this is one for the Carter family, y'all. It can help us get a couple longer.
I remember when I was a lad, kind of party, kind of bad. In silver line, each and every while. The school people, that's all we were, trying to make a living off that laughter. We would get together and he was singing loud. Let us sing, babe. We let brothers going right in there. Singing, sing the help of trouble soul. One of these days it won't be long. Don't come in a song. I'm gonna find this girl and throw. Sing on. Will the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by. Let us sing, babe. Me little brother going right there in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I remember afterward, Mama was calling all of us. You could hear us singing for a country while. With those brothers from going on, oh, joining in a song. I'll join the family circle at the road. Let us sing, baby.
Mama sing tenor.
We let brothers go right in there. Sing, sing the help of trouble soul. One of these days it won't be long. We're going in a song. I'm gonna find the circle like a road. Will the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by. Let's sing, baby.
Mama sing tenor.
We little brothers going right in there in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Let us sing, baby.
Mama sing tenor.
Me little brothers going right in there, singing, sing to help a troubled soul. One of these days it won't be long, they'll join me in a song. I'll join them and a circle like a throne. Will the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by and by. Let us sing, baby.
Mama sing tenor.
We little brothers going right in there in the sky, Lord, in the sky, in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
We'll let you get a little bit of Gatorade, John.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there was a city slicker from Memphis, Tennessee. He just bought him one of them new Porsche convertibles. And he was up in the Ozarks up there. You know, they got some nice hills up in the Ozarks. He was up there driving around the hills just as fast as he could, trying to try that new car out. You know, when you get a new car, you want to see what it'll do. Well, see if it'll hug the road. Well, he went around this one particular corner. There was a rooster in the middle of the road. He threw on the brakes, but he couldn't possibly stop. He ran over the rooster. He killed the rooster, ladies and gentlemen. He looked, there was a house on the hill, so he walked up the hill, knocked on the door. Farmer came to the door. He said, "Sir, I want to apologize to you." He said, I got a new car. And you know how when you get a new car, you want to try it out. And I was going too fast. And at the bottom of your hill, your rooster was right in the road. I couldn't stop. I threw on the brakes. Sir, to make a long story short, I've killed your rooster. But, sir, I want to do the right thing. I want to replace that rooster. He said, "Okay, go out in the hen house, introduce yourself to the hen." They go home and they said, "That's the funniest joke I ever heard." Here's one Jim wrote by herself and made a Grammy as well. Well, I got walking just to where you see. I'm walking out there, well, baby, my woman, long-legged urban man. Whoa, we can work it out. I just sold the whole diamond trying to get you to shut your mouth. Well, you big mountain woman, you long-legged urban man. Well, we can work it out. You said you didn't want no car. You're still what you are. Well, you big mama woman, you long-legged urban man. Well, we can work this out. I bought you first class ticket on a Look Around her cruise. God, ain't no ocean look around at you. Well, big mama woman, you long-legged urban man. Well, we can work this out. We'd work it out a lot quicker if you could. Good on you. You need to behave yourself a lot better than you did. I think you know what that word means. All right, I tell you what, might as well keep things moving. What do you reckon? Here's another Grammy song here. But, I'm sure you've heard this one. It goes like this. If I were a carpenter, you were the lady, would you marry me? Would you have my baby? You were a carpenter, I was a lady, I'd never be anywhere, I'm not a baby. If I worked my hands in wood, would you still love me? I do, yes I would. I think I'm sorry. like you. Let's get in the coffee day. You were a perfect girl. You were a lady.
Surgery like Dolly Parton has. Yeah. She says every time something's flagging, wagging, or dragging, that she gets it snipped, stitched, or switched. And she might even be here tonight, I don't know. I'm gonna go look for her. Bye, y'all.
Jim Carter. Now, I told you Johnny Cash was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, didn't I? Well, you know, back in 1953 when Johnny Cash got started, rock and roll wasn't quite like it was today. There was only one kind of rock and roll. That was music that had a beat, you could dance to it, and you could understand the words. Nowadays, that's all switched up. Most of that's moved over to country music, and they've diced up rock and roll into 40 different kinds. You know what I'm talking about? Now, by today's standards, this particular song here would be considered a heavy metal funk acid song. You might find it a little tame, I don't know. Well, you asked me if I miss my baby. I guess I will every day. I don't like it, I get it ask me if I find another. I don't know, I can't say. I don't like it, I guess any kind of way. God gave me that girl to lean on when he put me on my own. Heaven help me to be a man. Heaven help me to be strong. I don't like it, I guess any kind of ask me if I miss her kisses. I guess I will every day. I don't like it, I guess any kind of way. Ask me if I find another. I don't know, I can't say. I don't like it, I guess any kind of way. God gave me that girl to lean on when he put me on my own. Heaven help me to be a man. Heaven help me to be strong. I don't like it, I guess any kind of that way. Where's PJ? Cash. You didn't think it was possible, did you? Anybody in this room remember Kristofferson? Oh, Kristofferson, boy, great songwriter, huh? You know, if it wasn't for Johnny Cash, you might never even have heard of Kristofferson. All those great songs, Bobby McGee, Help Me Make It Through the Night, and all those good tunes, you probably would never heard of. Because back in 1968, Kristofferson was working as a janitor in a recording studio in Nashville, Tennessee. He was, just so happened Johnny Cash was recording at that studio. Well, Chris kept slipping tapes to Johnny, trying to get him to listen to his song. Well, the guy that owned the studio called him and said, Chris, if I catch you doing that again, I'm going to fire you. So then he started slipping them to June. Well, either June wasn't giving them to Johnny or Johnny wasn't listening to him because nothing was happening for Chris. Now, Chris also had another talent. He was a helicopter pilot with the Air National Guard. One day he had had too many beers at happy hour, and he went over to the armory and borrowed a helicopter, flew it over to Johnny Cash's house and landed it in his front yard. Johnny was curious. He come out to see what was going on. Well, he come walking out there about the same time Chris decided he'd get out of the helicopter. Chris opened that door, fell out on his head, rolled about 3 times, and come up with a cassette tape. He said, I got your next hit right here. Johnny Cash looked at him and said, boy, I like your style. Go on in the house, let's have a beer. They went in the house, had a beer, listened to that song. Johnny Cash said, man, you've told my whole life story on one side of one cassette. I promise you, I'm going to record that song. It's a good thing he did, too, because he made a whole pile of money, and it got Chris out of the janitorial business into the songwriting business where he belonged in the first place. Now, a lot of you people have heard this song because it's been recorded by a whole bunch of people, but not everybody knows that Johnny Cash was the first person to ever record this song. I bet you remember it goes like this. Woke up Sunday morning, no way to hold my head. Well, the beer I had for breakfast tasted good, so I had one more for dessert. I fumbled through the closet with my clothes and found my cleanest, dirty shirt. And it took me back to something I lost somewhere somehow along the way. I smoked my mind the night before, old cigarettes and songs I've been thinking. I stopped beside a park, watched a small kid with a can that he was kicking. Walked on down the lane, caught the Sunday smell of someone fried chicken. And it took me back to something I'd lost somewhere somehow along the way. On Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing Lord that I was still. There's something in a Sunday makes somebody feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying rather than lonesome as the sound of the sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl. He was singing. I stopped beside a Sunday school. I listened to the choir as they were singing. I walked on down the lane. Somewhere a lonely bell was ringing. feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying. I'm as lonesome as the sun. Oh, sleeping to the sidewalk. Someday morning come down. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I told you Johnny Cash had the #1 television show in the whole world between 1972. And one lady, she was doing okay by herself, but getting national television exposure kind of put her into a whole other category. And we happen to have her with us tonight. It's a lady that came from the hills of Tennessee and brought them with her. A woman with little feet, her feet never had a chance to grow. They was always in the shade. Dolly Parton!
I'm just tickled to death to be here tonight. How y'all doing?
We better wait till you get up here to start this, Dolly. Are you ready? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. I'm coming here looking like that.
There goes my I'm dragging my heart behind. He said, love's blind. He got a wife and I'm like, every mile. Think I'm big on a little hee-haw. I'm just sitting on every night. I'm starting when he was mine. Why you coming in here looking like that? All the stuff like a street. Walk right in here looking like that. Walk right in here looking like that. Honey, you just got buried in a good side. You're almost giving me a heart attack. Walk right in here.